Hi there and welcome to my channel. This is Kate from the Journal Nest in Australia, but currently in the United States. So welcome, I'm so glad that you can join me. Little bit of a spoiler alert, I'm itching to stitch, and you know I can't stop stitching on my journey, but I'm jet lagged. So to all of you out there, thank you for being with me as I go on this crazy trip and share what I'm doing. I've packed so much, but I'm already getting a little bit scared that I haven't bought enough things. So I took with me on the plane my new huswif from the Roxy Girls Journal of Stitching. This is my second one. I made it to go on the plane, and I have to say I was absolutely delighted to have it with me. A quick reveal of where I got up to. I'm still going to do lots and lots of work. If you've seen my other Kate Can't Stop Stitching, see that's the jet lag coming out. I'm still wrestling with resolving this color blue here. I've added some of these little flowers that I found on an old quilt at Vinnie's just before I left home. I took your advice and didn't take any scissors, so I just literally, I think it's a thread cutter from Clover that's tucking there. Still going to work on that, but I did embroider that little bit of lemon embroidery there. This is my little needle book. It needs a closure, and underneath it, oh, a bit tangled, of course I am, I have made a little pocket that will have my scissors in it, but for the meantime I just put my thread cutter in there, threader, and down the bottom I've got this container, this vase. I've got some flowers to stitch on, and this was really handy for my my thread on the train, plane and airport. So that's my little huswif. I thought I'd share with you how I packaged everything. It may be relevant or not, but to come over, I have resorted to the beautiful plastic containers rather than my nests. So this one has large pieces. I realize I'm doing more and more applique. So this is sort of patches of lovely fabrics that I will use. There's a doily bit that isn't there, so Kate can't even sort straight. So that's pieces of material. And then this is a collection of my little bits that I've harvested. Who knows where and when I'll use all of those, but some beautiful single little blue flowers in there that I'm excited about, various bits and pieces. And this one just jumped out from the wrong box, but I think that's saying I should use that today. And then for on the plane, actually, I just put a combination of those things in, some threads, a little bit of doily, some cotton, etc. And my matching crochet hook. And it is nearly time to do another stitch 1, crochet 2. So I have bought quite a lot of crocheting cottons with me. So that's where I've got everything. And then I suppose the two major pieces that I've bought with me is what oh look, I wanted to share that. I bring little treasures with me from home, and this is a lady from the Open Studio that gifted me this in our last session. It's made up of all her threads, and then she's put little tiny beads. So it's a little bit of home that I've bought with me. So thank you to my friend there. So this is the for the big box on Rachel's and Sarah's prompt 5. Sorry, I can't speak. This is going to be the big lid of the very big sewing basket that I'm covering. So that's there. I bought that. Lots and lots of stitching to do on that, and also for around the side. And this is the bit that I actually took on the plane with me. I put the other in check-in. This is like a snippet roll. It's starting to look, I've never done one of these, but this is going to go all the way around the box. So it's got to do the 4 sides. And so I suppose I've started with the center in mind and sort of growing out. Some bits are very plain. And the last bit I want to show you is that I have bought, as a challenge to myself, this sewing book of stitches. So I'm going to see if I can challenge myself to learn some new stitches when I'm over here. So that will be shared as well. Okay, so it's time to stitch. Truly, it feels like a long time. And so I'm just going to sit down and find a thread. How are you today? I hope all is going well. And it is absolutely extraordinary to know that I've crossed the world since I last filmed. And I suppose I'm just so grateful, no matter what happens. Okay, because I want this work to continue, this little huswif, I'm going to do my relaxing stitches today to start on here. So just need to check that you can see. If the light is a bit funny, I'm in a hotel room. But so excited to be stitching again. I want to say thank you for all your care. I mean, I've talked so often about the kindness of this community, but so many of you reached out and wished me well in my travels. And I truly didn't sort of feel alone. I felt, okay, I'm taking my stitching and my journal. Well, I haven't brought journals with me. I'm going to record in my journals and write in them, but not make the paper. And as I've learned about travel, you just have to embrace every part of it. My first leg went incredibly well, but when I arrived, I did hear a lot of people going, my flight's been cancelled, and of course Kate thought, oh, that wouldn't happen to me. But certainly I had to line up for 2.5 hours after my 16-hour flight to get to the counter to check my luggage in, to find out that yes, my flight had been cancelled as well. So I have a layover, an unexpected layover, just in a different place. And I still have plenty of time to get to my work. So I've embraced that this is meant to be. And I have to say, I was so impressed with humankind. Like, there were so many people with, you know, change plans and obviously disappointed, but everyone was just so calm and kind. And there were people with young families, and, you know, together people would say, do you mind, let's let these little ones through, like the families with their little ones, because you can only imagine, you know, traveling with little people, and just managing the flight is hard enough, but then to get off jet lagged and find that you can't fly on. So a shout out to humankind, I suppose, that it was just lovely to see. So I'm just doing wonky jet lag stitches here, but the impression is, I'll go back and do another row in between. And I know some of you would have done all of these pieces first before you sewed them down. Probably most of you, but I do love the idea that I can use this before it's finished, and that it's evolving with me, if that makes any sense. So I want 1/3 row up here. I'm using a variegated pearl. See, I've started to get mixed up whether we call it pearl or pearl. you know what I mean. It's just beautiful and has these lovely variegations that just make it look more special. Then the straight pink. And if you're new to my channel, as well as saying welcome, I just want to give you context that I'm calling this Kate's Naive Style because I'm going back to stitching after a very long time away, and relearning the stitches and basically just having fun. Okay, so I've got some cotton there, and I'll take this other needle out and we'll go on to the next piece. So I do love the beauty of this huswif in the smaller size, in that I can bend it all sorts of ways and then it becomes the pin cushion. Oops, but all the things fall out at the bottom, which does not worry us. I didn't manage to bring my mum's scissors with me, but in check-in. And again, thank you for your care. And I've got a few threads all over here. So this is a wool. Let's do a bit of wool now on this piece. So I have explained that this is the biggest scale of my stitching I've done yet. So there's plenty to go. So let's start at the what's going to be the center. So that piece is going to be at the center of the box, and then going this way I've got big patches of material that will have little bits of embroidery on them, and I'm tending to link, I'm growing my flower garden of course, tending to link flowers and do these stitches myself, so that the garden has both old embroideries and then my new work over the top. And look at that little flower. I think that's my best one yet, if you can see that in the light. And that was on the plane. These ones I've done the centers, and I've got this in my hand, and let's see what we will do. How about we go over to this side. So I'm building up a little bit of circle work here. And that's pretty. I showed you this cloth before. I love this intricate daisy work, but it is quite hard to stitch. So what I'm going to do is give myself even more of a challenge and see if I can get this onto here with wool. So it's very thick. I know I can take the back off. Actually, let me see if I can do that now. That one doesn't want to come off. Sometimes they come off really easily. Oh, they're sewed around. Okay. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm just going to see how I can get it to attach, and then whatever it looks like, we'll fix it up. I'm going to try and do some knots and be a good example, because someone said, don't you ever knot? And I do. I mean, on here I know, in fact I'm not going to, because I've just reminded myself this is going to be stuck to the box. And I know a number of you are sharing that you don't sew with wool, and are going to experiment. I'm just using it because I have it and I love this variegated colour. So rather than go fast, I'm going to go slower. and that way it gives me a better chance of getting through. The other thing I wanted to celebrate is what an international community we have together in this lovely stitching community. I truly, truly love hearing where you live, and I feel my friends' circle is just getting bigger and bigger. I just got distracted. I wanted to tell you, so that's a little tiny doily with a little ruffle there. That might end up crocheting a new thing around it, and then I just stitched 3 times around it in the variegated, and it's come out. What I want to say is I just like it because of the thread. Now this is a battle for some reason. Oh, I know, because it's going through the crochet as well. As I said, Kate likes a challenge, doesn't she? So far, so good. It was so lovely when I got delayed and my husband was helping me find somewhere to stay. He said, well, Kate, at least you've got your stitching with you. And I thought, what a beautiful thing. That he wasn't worried about me. He knew I could look after myself, but that most of all I would be comforted with my stitching. And that's true. I'm wondering if you take your stitching when you travel. That would be a good question to ask. And how do you pack up your bits and pieces? Oops. It is so often the stitch is very tough, but we're making progress now. Let's go up there. And I am conscious that not to put too much work in really near the edges because they will be on the box. I learnt that from the last one. Okay, I'm going to just do one more up here. Go down this side. You can see I was experimenting on the plane with that one, just going round and round in circles. It's a little bit sticky-arty, but I hope you can see I've got these 3 circles. I like things in 3s. Okay, so let's come out here. Let's make some daisies together. I haven't got a huge repertoire yet, but I do like this idea of just doing the same thing many times and getting better at it. So this is do they call them lazy daisies? I do love this wool and it's worth the perseverance, I think, for the beautiful colours that beautiful flowers like nature that you get out of it. Oops. Here we are, one daisy. I started to worry that I hadn't brought enough cotton with me, or wool, but I think I might be right, but we'll see. I mean, I think my only disappointment with this layover was I don't think there's any, well, there probably is, but I haven't been to any thrift shops yet. I'm going to just get over my jet lag and stitch and do some work today, and then we'll go from there. So this one's going to come out much more pink than the other. Without even changing the thread. And we'll do one more of these. So yes, I'm hoping by the time I go home that I'll have this mostly covered and the top. So you'll probably see a couple of examples of this project emerging. I hope that's not too boring, but I think we're ready to hear what the next prompt is. And I thought, if there's one time when I can do a lot of stitching non-stop, these would be good pieces to experiment on. Well, not experiment, just keep stitching on. But I am going to experiment. I want to do some of my new stitches on these pieces, because then I'll remember the journey to stitchery as well as my journey overseas, if you get what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more petal. That's not a very nice beginning of that stitch, but again, we're not perfect. Just better check. Can you see me? Yeah. And I do apologise if ever I'm off camera. I'll just get carried away and forget. There we go. So we've got, it's going to go like this. So I'm developing this area. We've sort of got 4 circles so far. There's these beautiful daisies there. We've got 3 flowers there. Let's see what else we've got. Can't remember doing this, so I must have been getting tired. Hang on, just let me not lose my needle. Put it back on the pin cushion. I'm trying to develop that. Actually, I think this is a bit too orangey, this cotton, so maybe that's why I stopped. But I'm just going to finish this row. I literally must have got tired. Go down here. See what else is happening. It's very orangey, but maybe there's orange in that, or it's pinky orange in that flower. So rather than pull a thread up, okay, it just goes join one bit to another and see what happens. must have been doing some roses up there. Okay. Let's just go back up there and see if we can make that look a little bit nicer. Or why don't we put something on? Let's start doing some layers. I'm getting so carried away. I do like this little piece here. I've got some pinky. That's a big piece. Probably too big for this. Look at that. Lovely. And I do like those. So let's play. Oh, that's beautiful too. I don't know whether I showed you. I put that. Oh yes. If I just open this garden up, I don't think I did this in detail with you, the outside. So I found this little white flower and my first ever Suffolk puff there. I've done some stranded flowers. We might come back and do a few little woolly things there. It's also exciting. I can't remember what I've done and what I haven't done. It's okay, we just got distracted. Why? Because I'm thinking that we've got blue there and orange. Thinking we'll put this little tiny bit of flower down here. Because that blue is out of nowhere, but if we grow the garden back, actually, then I'll do some more blue in there and that will connect everything. So this is really plain, but I don't know that I've seen many people do this, and probably they do, but this is that old flannelette sheet, and I just absolutely love the texture of it. So I really enjoy having that there and then sewing things on top of it. Okay, so we're going to go up here. And I'm still using the orange thread because that will link this part together. Just thinking it's wild to remember that this time last week we were in the car going on our sewing basket excursion. Let's come up this way. I'm not going to sew that bit down because I want that to end up being a blue area, but let's make this orange area with some tiny stitches over the pink. Well, it's orange over the pink, really. Love these little bits of fray. What was I saying? I needed one more flower. Actually, I think we might need 5. I'm going to go this way. Oh, that's a new sound for me out the window. A city siren. More than one. I hope everyone's all right. Okay, let's do a quick daisy here. And I thought this was more variegated. This is it's of this that I got from the sewing basket. I thought it was going to be more variegated than it is, so I suppose that's why it's coming out such a bright orange. But we can make anything work. And if I don't like it, it's going to be towards the back. Oh, sorry, that sounds a bit sad for this box, but it is going to be at the back. So there'll be a pop of colour, but it won't be the most visible part. Something silly there, but that's okay. Put it down and we finish that orange. I'm not sure that I'll use that colour again. I mean, I'll use orange, but that particular thread may be too much. Okay, how are we going? I've got this beautiful piece here and I wanted to do some pink wool. Too many things to do. Let's have a look. Keep forgetting which way this goes. Oh, not that way. Do I need a little bit of sunniness there? Blue flowers, white flower, white. Oh. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry everyone. I didn't know how to turn the video and I wanted to keep finishing this. So someone at the door, bar, all of those sorts of things. So apologies, but that's life. That's what happens in Kate's life. So with that, I'm going to put this little beautiful white daisy on, right in the center, I think, of the box. No, right to this side. And let's see if we can do a bit of blanket stitch together. I've got a cotton. Oh. I should have put do not disturb, but I'm new to all of this. So thank you everyone for your understanding. So it's looking like we've got a big stitch and then a small stitch. I do admire all of you who are great sewers and can do every stitch the same. Again, I'm learning about the different materials that you can harvest from, and again it's probably not the easiest. But if I love the flower, I've got to have it. Okay. So that's truly an example of Kate can't stop stitching, or didn't want to stop stitching, and even when there was someone at the door. I'm going to just pull out that extra big stitch there and make another one into that hole, and then I'll work out what to do with that thread in a minute. Okay, so let's have a quick look at that. There is our centerpiece, starting for the box with a little pink. I'll sew that in under the next flowers that I do. All right, so on this piece, we've done a little beautiful daisy. We've added this big flower and some pink lazy daisies. We've done a little bit of orange and we've developed this blue section. So that's coming together. And then the final thing I want to do for this session was, have a look at the outside of this. And yeah, so I still need to develop this part here. This is getting nice and textured and layered. And let's do in wool. Did I have a piece done or not? Just to finish off. I'm thinking about the opening of this, how I'm going to close it. I haven't worked that one out yet. Now what am I doing? I'm doing these lovely fluffy round flowers. Need 5 spokes. So this is about the journey I'm on, still practicing these. So let's go around this way, over and under, over and under, over and under. Over and under. And this is, sometimes I forget to find a spoke. Over and under, that's right, I'm doing fine. Over and under. I do also love hearing about your styles and your ideas for what you're embroidering. And it just popped into my head that one suggestion was that you can make glasses cases out of little bits of these embroideries. And I thought, oh, as someone who always losing my glasses, I thought, oh, that might be nice to have in my bag. There we go, that one feels the right size. I'll do another one just down here. Truly, I love doing these so much. Now that I'm getting better at it, not perfect, they still go astray if I'm not concentrating, but just to have that height. There's another siren. Over and under, over and under. Isn't it amazing how many variations we can make with the one idea? Okay, 1, 2, and then the last one is going to be down here. It's really feeling like a happy little garden now. And I do, yeah, that was my first ever one of this, what are they called? Suffolk puffs that I've ever, or maybe, yeah, I don't know, I don't think I've used them. I've got some, but I'm just getting braver. And in between here is this beautiful daffodil and this white flower, which I don't know what it is. And as always, I'm trying to deliberately cover some of that green up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th one. In. This is getting really puffy now. I think that's what I love most, is making this texture out of a combination of the embroideries and the crochet and the doilies, etc., and then adding stitching over the top. Oops, pulled a little tight, and this is a particularly wonky one. And I'm running out of thread, but I do want to go over that bit. And we'll finish it off down there. And quite beautifully, no thanks to me, but thanks to that thread, our pinkest bit has ended there. So let's put our little huswif to bed. Thread in there, got to do that. We did a little bit of, what have I done here? Got everything out of, thread in there. We did a little bit of fanciness there. Put the needle away so I don't lose it. Fold her up. So still some things to do on here, but she's looking more finished there, and this is to be continued. Thank you so much for joining me on Kate Can't Stop Stitching, even on my travels with someone at the door. So much gratitude to you all. Okay, see you next time. Bye.